I'm Julia Bryan-Wilson. I'm Associate Professor of Modern and Contemporary Art. One of the first ones that I noticed when I was thinking about this, the whole series, I guess, was this one, which is about the large animal clinic in Davis. And as you can see, there's an instructor here. He's drawing what looks to me like a joint or something, a bone. But he's drawing something on this blackboard with these students here. And then there's this, like almost an apparition of this horse head, really part of a almost totally different photograph because it's so present and its eyes are so kind of, it's staring back out at us in a very interesting way while these men sort of have no awareness of the camera or seem to have no awareness of the camera. Not only is the presence of the horse, I think, very somber in some way, just the fact that he's been kind of decapitated. But then I looked closer and noticed that he has a bridle on and that his rope is being held by this very, very dark hand that's just at the edge of the frame. And it seemed to me very curious that Adams would crop it in this way, that this person, whoever it is who's holding this horse and keeping him here, is not part of the picture otherwise. I feel like it raises so many questions about what kind of invisible labors make all of this happen. Who else are we not seeing in the frame? Like, what other people are cleaning the stables or caring for these creatures or wiping down the billboard or, all the other kind of maintenance that might happen that, again, is not included in the kind of the actual picture itself. To continue on the theme of where the laboring bodies are, I'm really also interested in a lot of these shots, these agricultural shots, and how Adams has really put the figures of the pickers or the growers, or maybe they're scientists. We don't have a lot of information about who these people are, but it's really about the fruit. It's really about the scene in a way, and the bodies are a little bit subordinated, in an image like this. This man, even has his back is turned to the camera. So they're obviously their bodies at labor in some way, or their bodies who are doing work distant, I think, from the real focal point of the image. And of course, it's a beautiful picture in a lot of ways. I mean, it's about abundance, and really so much about like California as this incredible fruit basket, for the country and the world, and this sense of bounty and the, groaning large grapefruits, all kind of perfect in their prime. This gets back to this idea of the dismembered hand that we saw with the horse image, and it's hands with chips. If we don't know whose hands they are, they look male, they look white. To me, it's actually quite a nice image. It reminds me of a lot of other very un-Ansel Adams-y photographers, like a kind of Edward Weston close-up of how the human body sits in space, with this very dark, rich black background and the kind of raking light over the entire frame. And of course, the scene here, that the picture that the text is telling us, is about the Forest Products Laboratory and kind of growing better, having the forests yield more goods, yield more commodities that are usable in a way, and these chips are one part of that. And I just think it's really interesting to think about the fragmentation of the forest into these chips that can be used, and that you can see really visibly, like they're material that a human holds in one's hand, in a way that kind of like a living tree is not, you're not able to grasp it in quite this way. But again, a kind of curious absenting of the rest of this human body, and really this close-up look at kind of these hands at work in some way. And of course, these are hands that are just holding these chips to be inspected, so they're kind of a vessel for display. And it raises a lot of questions to me about, who this person is. Is it a scientist? Is it a student? Is it, whose hands do these belong to?